Hello and welcome back to the GbasGbos podcast. I am Emmanuel and I have with me, as usual,
Ben. Yeah, I guess it's another episode again, so we try to stay locked in.
We try to stay locked in, and we are locked in right here. So Ben, what is today's topic, or what will we be talking about today?
I think it's something that has to do with productivity, or I don't know. I guess it's a weird time to be alive, Corona is eating everybody up. You gotta stay focused, sharp mind. I don't know. It's just crazy nowadays,
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. So we're talking about productivity, and I guess you're right in a sense, right? Like we are really, truly living through a pandemic. So it is weird to be talking about productivity. But again, we still have lives, even though we are in a pandemic. We still sort of have to, do stuff. So I guess today's point, the point of today's episode will be like, how do we do those things, So
I don't know. If you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do. I knew you were going to say something like that. You gotta do what you gotta do.
What am I supposed to say?
You gotta
don't do shit.
Maybe that's a good advice. So yeah, I mean, since we're on to the matter of productivity, technically sometimes the best thing you can do is not to do anything.
I see you, man. I know what you're trying to do.
I'm just taking from your playbook, my man. I am just taking from your playbook.
Oh, what playbook?
Yes, man, your playbook of words. We gotta do something in regards to that, man. And I think it's good that you, this viewer or the listener right now, that you have both of us, because we have vastly different approaches to how we do things. So for example, Ben, he wakes up at the ungodly hour, the hour that is not godly, at like 4 a.m. in the morning to do stuff. Like, who does that? Come on, man. Who does that?
Yeah, Ben, apparently.
Come on. Who does that? So, like, what do you do? Like, why do you wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning? And, like, does that give you any advantage to your day compared to someone like me, for example, who doesn't really wake up, like, early?
Man, it does, man. It does. It does give you a lot of advantage. Depends on how you want to see it. Like, if you get a lot of stuff to do, you got to crack into your time, though. You got to cheat. So if I wake up 4 a.m., I'm trying to sleep as early as 10 p.m. at night. So if anybody texts me, I didn't reply, probably I'm sleeping. Is what it is. And if I couldn't get 10 or 11 max, I try to sleep, because it is tough, but it's something I'm trying to train myself to do often. Yeah. Because I just have a routine, like I'm trying to make it work, because it's something I do most of the time. Like I wake up, like my body clock automatically wakes at 6. No alarm, no nothing.
Crazy.
But I try to take it back to 4, so I can cut in sometimes and do some other things like it's so important for me to do.
Why do you do this to yourself, bruv?
I didn't do that to myself. Like I said, you got to do what you got to do. I didn't know about this problem. That's my problem.
Tisk. Well, for me, I am definitely not waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I've tried it. I've tried to wake up at 5. And the problem with doing that, I'll let you know, is that I get by 10 o'clock, I'm already extremely tired.
10 a.m.
Yeah, 10 a.m. It's like at 10 a.m. I'm done. I'm like, okay, I want to go to bed now and like wake up the next day.
Shit like that is not meant for everybody, bro.
It's definitely not meant for me, man. Like, I think for you just have a chip. But for me, the irony is like, for me, like till like that 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I can be awake and I can like do stuff, Like when the clock hits 12, it's like there's this thing that just activates in my brain and I'm like, I don't want to sleep. Now I want to do stuff.
Like, I could switch it if I want to, but I just feel like there's no point for me to switch it. So, like in the whole day, right, you usually have like 4 blocks of time. Like, if you check it like this, like you sleep at night, let's say like 12 a.m. for example.
Okay.
12 to 6 is 1 block. 6 to 12 is another block.
Okay.
6 to 6 is another block.
Okay.
6 to 12 is another block.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
So that's 4 blocks. So how are you going to maximize that? That's the question you got to ask yourself. So most times everybody's supposed to sleep at like first block, which is like 12 a.m. to like 6 a.m. Everybody's asleep. So if I can cut into that first block and get like 2 hours, good for me. I maximize that, right?
Yeah.
And the second block, which is like 6 to 12. 6 a.m. to like 8 to 9, I'm doing my exercise. Once I come back, I rest, because I have to get that in, right? So from 10 to 12, I'll be doing something else in the second block. So like the whole of that first block, I try to utilize everything. Then when it's like the third block, which is 12 to like 6, in between 1 to 2, 2:30, I'll be sleeping, because I need to make up for a little bit. So I'm trying to utilize as much as I can. And the last block, Yeah, probably like 6 to 8 or 7. Yeah, I try to do something for like 1 hour to 2 hours. Then before 10, I try to sleep or just talk or watch movie or shit like that or something. Or if I have to pick up to go play, I try. That's the way I see it. Which is weird, but
So anyway, it's not weird. It's crazy, but it's not weird. I would not say weird, because like for me, if I had to do that, I think I'll just be a zombie, man. I'm just going to be like, give me your brains. I want to eat your brains, because like, yeah, no, I think I'm just going to have a headache like continuously until I don't know, maybe I die or something, because like it's just too intense.
no, you want like it's a way you gotta train yourself. So I don't know. Like you say, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't like to explain too much stuff, but this podcast is making me explain too many stuff.
Bro, that's the point of the podcast, man. The point of the podcast is so that you talk, you know? So I think for me, it'll be definitely the opposite in that. Well, not the opposite, I would say. I would say, like, now that Ben has introduced this blocks system, and when I think of it in that regard, right, it actually makes sense, you know? Because, like, for me, I actually see the 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. block. I see it as a time where I can do a lot of things, right? So it's like running or editing or like shooting or doing something. Like I think between that 6 p.m. to 12 p.m., it's like go, you know, it's like I can be super productive. I found out that recently I can really actually be super productive within that time.
So apparently so. That's your flow time. Anything you want to do, let's say like any creativity stuff, you got to put it in there because you don't need to be creative to run. It's just a routine.
Yeah.
Video stuff, work stuff, important stuff, like, you know, you want to get it done as quick as possible.
Yeah.
You got to put it on that block because, you know, that's your superpower time. You got to put it in there. The other thing you don't need to think about, run, I do what I want. So that's why I like, because I'm usually a morning person. If I get a good sleep at night, I could do so much more in the morning. So that's why sometimes I don't go train in the morning. I just stay back. If I have a lot to do, stay back. I'm from like 4 a.m. to like 5 a.m. I work till like 10 a.m. So any other thing can fall into place. Like, after all.
You've done what you wanted to do.
Yeah, the most important task for me in that day, I accomplish it first. Yeah, I can just afford to fool around, like, it don't matter now. I can choose to sleep. I can choose to be lazy. Because every other thing I need to do comes second or third. Because the most important one, I did it first.
Yeah.
Because my flow time, or the most times I'm super active, is that morning first. So I gotta utilize that time.
I see. And now that I bring up the thing of flow, I've always thought my flow time was between 12 to 6 p.m.
No.
I've always thought that, but actually looking at it recently, I think my flow time, maybe it's not 6 directly, maybe it's like 4 to like 11.
It's like late evening.
Yeah.
Late evening.
Interesting.
Another late evening, I'm just trying to stay alive, like, fuck this whole shit. Like, I'm fucking done, like.
Because it's always funny, right? Like at that time, Ben is like this. And it's like in the morning, you're not even going to find me like this because like I'm not even going to be awake.
Everybody's still sleeping, like, I got a lot done already, so.
Yeah, man. Like I wonder like how you see the city, man, because by the time you wake up and you go out, like, and even goes out, you know, like sometimes maybe it's running or it's practice or it's something.
Yeah, the city is super peaceful in the morning. That's the best time to be alive, bro.
I think so. But let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Switching gears into a couple of episodes ago, and if you missed it, you know, you missed something great. Go check it out, which is the Aspire to Perspire. So we always say on social media, right, where people say, you know, this is a pandemic, you know, you've been locked up at home. This is the time for you to get fit. This is the time for you to, you know, for you to learn that skill. This is the time for you to, you know, become Superman. This is the time for you to become Bill Gates. You know, like if you're not doing any of these things, you know, you are failing. You know, many people don't have the opportunity. They don't have the freedom that you have to have 3 square meals a day. So, you know, what are you doing in your life, you know? So what is your take on those productive gurus who say, you know, you must maximize every time in your day, you know, like every single block of time must be accounted for as something that is driving your life and future forward, you know?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say it's bullshit. I'd say it's bullshit. It depends on whoever's working for. So, I mean, like I say, like shit like that, don't need to motivate me. I know where I'm coming from. If I
Okay.
don't know where I'm going, I know where I'm coming from. So I'm like,
Okay.
I don't need your powerful speech. But sometimes, like, you don't need to throw the message away, though. You just need to pick what applies to you
Okay.
and just write it off. You just move along. But the thing is, most people needs to be pushed. Well, it's working for them, so.
Well, I think there's a common reaction I usually see to that is that actually for most people, right, they usually say like, like we're in a pandemic, like how can you be saying that we should be focusing on, changing the world when most of us are stuck at home, fragile mental health, our finances has been cut down, there's so much uncertainty in the world today, like just surviving the day is enough work for some people, right? And it's like, now you're coming and saying, no, you must be changing the world. You must be doing this. You must be doing that. So some people think it's quite insensitive in a sense of, like read the room, yes, we should be productive, but also at the same time, we should also take into account the fact that at this point in time, it's a freaking pandemic,
Okay.
So I don't know. I think my own take would be on that is that, again, pick what works for you. And when it starts entering into the aspire to perspire region, yeah, for me, I'm not.
And that's why I say, like,
It loses me,
that's why I say, like, people need to be pushed. So even though this pandemic, I get it. Everything is just intense for everybody. There's some people are just strong at it. Some people can take it. Some people just can't. And that's the fact. So even the people giving you the inspiration or whatnot, they have their own difficult side, which, yeah, is just for the show of the game. So, you know what I'm saying? So for people like us, like, man, pandemic is here. We're just trying to stay alive, though. There's nothing for me to protect. I'ma just be the best of myself because shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
It is way fucked up. And I don't want to think about it. So if I don't want to think about it, I gotta bootstrap my shit and get it together. That's that. But apart from that, you should be like, yeah, I know this pandemic shit is fucked up. You ain't getting out of it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody be politicking around it, so that's that. But for other people, it could be so poor and sensitive because everybody have their own way of thinking.
Yeah.
But like you say, it is business. And it's just business as usual. People don't give a shit how you feel.
Yeah. That is true, though. Yeah.
Like, so the only thing you can choose to do is ignore them.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. And in ignoring, but I don't know, man. Like, is ignoring the only thing, though?
What you gonna do? You gonna stop them from talking?
We ban, if you ever make me president, ban all aspire to perspire, okay?
Bullshit.
Okay?
Man. Stop.
Aspire to perspire to refire so that you don't tire or retire and get the message, aspire.
So you can't do anything about that because some people come from a legit point of view,
Okay?
trying to use their story to inspire people and all of that.
Inspirate Ben.
Yeah, my bad. But,
No, not your bad. We shall
but
put that on the
okay.
shirt.
It's okay. In case you don't know. Shout out to my friend again.
Who's that?
You get the innuendos. You get the innuendos.
I get the innuendos.
So we good. So I mean, like, if you want to tell your story to inspire people, good. Like, just make sure it's coming from a good place. As to say, you don't even know what you want to say, but you're just out here to hustle people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just different ballgame. So,
Yeah.
But apparently, most people want to be told what they want to hear. That's the difference. I mean, like, if I could share my story and inspire somebody that's coming from my story is coming from a good place, from my own side. Like, I'm not using it. I'm just telling it to inspire people. Then good. I don't want to make money off it or something.
Yeah.
But from coming out like, oh, this is a business strategic move, I might stop people, quote unquote, then. But apparently, those are what those people do.
Definitely.
So it is fucked.
Okay, so I think moving on to the last section of the video, well, maybe not so last, we still have a little bit of time, is that what do you do when you can, you try everything, but you can just not be productive? Like, nothing is working. Or maybe are you a productive god where every single time where you sit down, you can get everything done?
Nah, if I don't want to do shit, I stay home and sleep.
So sleep, you recommend sleep.
I just sleep, man. I shut my fucking brain off, bro.
So you don't try to push through the.
No, man. If I'm tired, I'm tired. I know when I'm tired. Like I don't. You
Okay, maybe you are not tired. Maybe you're well rested. But like, even though you are well rested, you still can't get anything.
I might not be physically tired, but mentally I'm drained.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do?
Mentally, yeah. Okay.
Push myself? No fucking way. And sometimes, like, even though I'm not mentally tired, my body don't want to do shit. I'm not doing anything.
So you're not gonna push through it and say no. Ben, you gotta, when the tough gets going, or when this something gets tough, the tough gets going, something like that.
Usually, like, if I try to grind like Monday to Friday out, Saturday or Sunday, I try not to do anything. One of those days. And sometimes it can even fall to 2 days, like Saturday and Sunday. I'm just there, like resting. Whatever. Or sometimes, like during the week, like if you notice, like sometimes Wednesday I'm just super off.
Yeah.
Then I know, like, okay, that's it for that week. Then I'll pick up back on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And keep going. I kind of just push. And if I want to go play basketball, I'm like, no, fuck it.
Yeah. I think I saw you the other day with hanging out with Abang Shazro, my Pisan Goran guy. Shout out to Abang Shazro.
And
JC. Our guy JC.
JC, my guy. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so Ben was, for a little context there, Ben was going to his basketball practice, and then he was like, yeah, no.
And I was home all day, like I didn't practically do anything. So I'm like, okay, let me just go try it. And I just like, nah, we'll call it a day. Yeah.
So on that day you were off and you were like, okay, I think I would rather not.
Yeah, just what it is, bro.
Yeah, I think for me before, the strategy I used to use was, I used to like, no, Emmanuel, you have to do it anyway. And I'll beat myself up and I'll try to, still do it even though like I'm having like zero headway. But I think now I follow more of your strategy. I think on Friday, was it Friday or Saturday? I'm not sure. So the new Mac OS update came out, Big Sur. So I updated my desktop to it. And then my desktop restarted and it couldn't boot again. And if it were before, I would be there all night.
No, bro.
I'll be like, trying to solve this and solve that. And genuinely at that time, I think on Friday, and even on Saturday all day, my computer was off because I just couldn't figure it out because I was just, like my brain just keep coming into the same thing, like reset the computer, reset. And I'm like, I don't have time to reset the computer at this time, bro. So I just left it, And then on Sunday, the idea just...
So what happened to your brain when your brain is trying to reset?
I don't know, man.
That makes you a brainiac.
Yeah, cancelled, bro. Get out, bro.
I think we'll call him a brainiac. Man. This is a brainiac.
Yeah, bro, you really, you're cancelled, man. Come on, I'm tired of you. Please, come and take him. I'm giving you for free, okay?
So you have to reset your brain or reset your computer.
Bro,
which one did you reset?
No. I reset my brain. After resetting my brain, bro, I tell you, man, immediately the thing came on Sunday, Sunday afternoon. You just came to me like, hey, why don't you just use your USB stick? And I was like, yeah, actually that makes, and I just used my USB stick and I booted into my computer, no problem.
Yep.
And I was like, so I think rest and just tuning off. Shout out to Shira, the Princess of Power, I think is the name on Netflix.
Really? Are you doing this?
Shout out to Shira, Princess of Power on Netflix. Amazing series. I recommend 5 seasons. And on Friday, Saturday, I binge watched 4 full seasons. So I think that really helped too, Shira.
Yeah, sometimes.
Shout out to Shira.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get your mind out of that misery.
Bruh, I'm telling you right now, I'm talking about.
It is fucked up. I know.
Yeah, man. So I think with that is our time. I think basically do what works for you.
Man, like it's a buck of work, so you gotta learn what works for you to know what to do.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And I think the advice I would give is don't force it. So like, if you're feeling off or you're feeling like, man, nothing is working, don't push it. And I think shout out to my man Visa on Twitter. Amazing dude, man. You should follow him, man. It's like when he talks, it's like he's talking from my brain. Okay. Literally, it's such a mind-blowing thing. Anyway, Visa, like, he posts all this mind-blowing thing on Twitter. And yes, no, really. And one of the things he posted is like, he has come to terms with the fact that it's not going to be productive every day of the week.
Yeah.
And every time of the day, he knows that there's a limited, like, I'm not quite sure how many hours. I think it was 2 hours or 3 hours. He said is the most he can focus. But like in those 3 hours or in those 2 hours or whatever hours he said, he tries to get as much as he can do done. And like the other hours, he doesn't beat himself up. And I was like, wow, that is such a different perspective to things in that. Sometimes when some things are not working, whether it's for a longer period of time where maybe for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or for like 2020 where we are all sort of cooped up at home where you can be so stressed all the time. Sometimes it's just realizing that, hey, right now maybe the only productive hours I can get in a day is just 4. And, once you're able to get that, you are, you have less guilt on watching your Netflix or doing all your other stuff.
Apart from that, right, so like during my undergrad, I'm always that guy who's on the go. So the only time I study is when there's when exam is coming. So I don't study 4 hours, 5 hours. That's bullshit to me. Like, it wouldn't just work. So if I get a book or my note or whatever, I'm going to stay there for the next 1 hour. Focus on it. After that 1 hour, I set my alarm. Once my alarm rings, I'll put up a basketball game and watch for the next 20 minutes. Then I go back to it again. Recap. I shit you not. That shit helped me throughout my school. Yeah.
Maybe
I don't study for 3 hours. Like, I'm just fucking killing myself. I know.
Maybe I should try that.
I know. I started beat by beat, and I never forget whatever I started. So.
Yeah. I will put that in my folder. Anyways, that is our time for today. Thank you so much for listening or watching. I really recommend you watch if you're listening, so you can see Ben's amazing face in HD right here in HD, and you can see his beer. To the BFCs out there, I've not forgotten y'all. So to Ben's beer. Anyways, that's any last words from you, Ben?
I mean, like, do what you gotta do, but try not to beat yourself up. Yeah. Some days are just not your day. Just what it is.
It is.
Do what you can. Do your best. Your best might not be 100% sometimes, so it's fine too.
Yeah. And that is our time. We shall catch you on the next episode of the GbasGbos podcast. Bye.